Hello, I'm NecroPolo. On the road, I realized that efficient logistics is all about the form factor. So instead of carrying huge amplifiers with huge caps, I just broke my stuff down to small digestible pieces, easy to carry. So the form factor limiter of my guitar pedalboard is this one. This aluminum case is cheap, light, and lasts for a long time, so it became my size limiter. My live guitar rig must fit in there. So around 2009 I started to use these doormat aberrations, as one of my friends call it. This one here is my very first doormat board. I use it for bands with two guitarists. The next board is for bands where I am the only guitarist, so it provides two guitar outputs. A very wide stereo signal. As you can see, these are all analog, no Kemper, no Line 6, no XFX. I like simple things. So, following that idea, I will build a pedal board for my acoustic band Diabolus in Musica. This project has 50 plus gigs per year and runs basically on a very simple setup. Ovation guitars, line out, tuner, looper pedal, DI box. This setup worked for years, but now, for the coming new album, an ample of new things have been added. That means a couple of more new pedals that enable to bring these new things for live shows as well. I didn't have to reinvent the wheel, so this build includes an ample of old stuff, including the gear that I've already used in this band. So most of new things are old things, really, in this build. So the content of these boxes must fit in there. It will not be as easy as it seems because I have to squeeze in 7 units and the power supply. So what all of these pedals do and why are they there in the first place? I will talk about them according to their place in the signal path. So the first pedal in the line is a Boss TU2 tuner. It's from the early 2000s and I used it in many bands. It's not the best unit of its kind because it's slow, it's not too visible on a bright stage, it eats batteries like crazy. The reason me having it is just because it was on sale back in time. The only positive thing about it, it's very, very reliable. So the next thing in line. No acoustic pedalboard should exist without a heavy distortion pedal. I have it because of a coincidence. This pedal is called JF17. Originally, I ordered a JF317 digital reverb, but instead this one was shipped to me. And instead of sending it back, I decided that I'll keep it. You will need an extreme distortion pedal for an acoustic pedalboard. Anyway. So the next in line is a Boss digital delay from 2002, I guess. I think it's a bloody awesome digital delay. I used it for so many bands, I cannot recall. I don't know why, but I kept the original boxes of both this unit and the TU2. But make no mistake, these are more than 20 years old. So the last pedal before the DI box is a Joyo Space Verb. This pedal in my country is among the cheapest reverb pedals around. But a couple of months ago, when I tried this one, I liked it, so it became my choice. I have a couple of other Joyo pedals, and they work just fine. And they have a very, very tiny footprint, so they are ideal for a pedal board. Also, this lid covering the pots, it's very useful, I think. When it comes to being cost-effective, I think Joyo is one of the winners of this game. Our violinist also uses a Joyo delay pedal, but I just cannot recall the name. I mean, the pedal, not the violinist. Of course, I recall his name. Well, whatever. So, it's a pretty fine little unit. I love it. So, a sort of independent circuit on the board is my Digitech Jamman looper. Actually, I don't use it as a looper. I've never used it, to be honest. Instead, I'm using it as a simple roadworthy wave player. So, the Digitech Jamman is virtually our drummer and keyboard player since 2019 or so. So the band decided to be as portable as possible. So the complete band should fit in a normal road car including PA system. So I love this unit because it solves problems, but I absolutely hate its power supply. I have no idea why companies use these breaking power cables. It makes no sense, because otherwise this unit is quite roadworthy anyway. It had never a bad moment, and it's extremely flexible, especially if I attach its dedicated foot switch here. These two pedals got quite an abuse during the years, and they work awesome. Very dependable, just like my output section. The Art Double PDB DI box is a very old friend. I prefer passive DI boxes to active ones because a passive DI box provides a little bit softer signal both in the mean of levels and sound. These particular ones are built like tanks. I've used a number of PDB and DPDB DI boxes during the years. They always deliver. Considering power supply, I decided that I'll try something different. These rechargeable pedalboard power supply batteries were on sale, so I decided that I'll give it a go. At the moment of editing this video, I've been already through 5 or 7 gigs with it, and it works surprisingly well so far. As for connection, I prefer installation cables and connectors. You know, they stay in place all the time. So cables don't have to be thicker than needed, and connectors don't have to be more expensive than needed. So I use a combo of Klotz, IY104 and RIN. So assembly took an afternoon or so, including soldering, cable management, reinforcement, and things like that. Despite that, I liked the sound of the Joyo Extreme Metal pedal. It was a little noisy. I replaced it with an AMT P1. For this demo, I will use my Ovation guitar that I use on stage, the one on the left. Well, this is the pedal board powered up. The power supply battery was fully charged up 2 live shows ago, so the useful running time is about 5, maybe 6 hours. The space verb and the looper are on all the time. The rest, like tuner, are just momentary on and off. So let's see the signal flow in the practice again. So my input section is the tuner here, and the signal goes from here to the P1. Well, it's a high gain MSIM. Yeah, essential. From here we go into the delay pedal. This one I use in a couple of songs only. So from here we go into the space verb here. So this pedal is permanently on all the time. And these are my settings. As you will hear, it's not too aggressive, soft, big room plate reverb. I don't change this at all, so it's nice to let it down. So my signal goes into the DI box. That's where the PA gets my guitar. So there are 2 power lines. Output 1 feeds the Jamman. This pedal is all the time on. With its dedicated foot switch, I can step up or down between the tracks, as you can see here. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward, as you can see. So I choose the tracks with this contra pedal, and I start and stop the background tracks with the Jamman. 1 push is start, just like here, and 2 are stop. It's pretty convenient, I think. This output runs into the second channel of the DI box. So the PA gets 2 XLR cables from me, 1 for a backing track and 1 for my guitar. So I just start the backing tracks with the Jamman, and that's all about it, really. So the backing tracks are basically grooves, sometimes keyboards, and pretty simple, really. And I use just 1 mono output. Well, it works on stage pretty well. Okay, and let's have some guitars. As you can hear, it's a very subtle reverb. I use the delay pedal only for a couple of songs. and sometimes for also some sort of groovy stuff. I'll show you. But 90% of the time I just use the guitar and the loop pedal or wave player, changing tracks. So, a couple of words maybe about this power supply here. So after 2 shows it looks like this. Maybe without recharging it, it would be capable to play the 3rd, I don't know. To keep it safe and sound, I just recharge it after 2 shows. I tested it a lot and I concluded that when it's empty, it's gone. If it's not charged up to a level, it will not turn on. So only one thing remains. What about this one here? Have you ever considered plugging your acoustic guitar to a high gain amp? Well, okay, as far as it goes, it's a feedback mayhem even in line level. Anyway, I will never use it this way. Of course, because even before considering turning it on, I switched to an electric guitar before. So the test subject for today will be my old Honor L75. If you are not new to this channel, then you have probably seen it around. On stage I used this guitar or my Ibanez RG with this project, and this pedalboard. Of course it can go clean. Okay, but electric guitar and clean, come on. So that's all about my battery-powered acoustic pedal board with a little twist. See you somewhere in time.